Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki and today I have a special DIY for you, this time using this fence I found at the Dollar General. I believe this is new this year. I have not seen it. It only costs $1 and look at all the beautiful ornate work. It's a lot different from the other and I believe it will cover good with chalk paint. It's not porous like the other, it's actually nice and smooth. So I can't wait to show you what I'm going to make with it. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I really hope that you enjoy this episode. And if you're returning, I so appreciate you coming back to see me. And your comments are just so sweet. I appreciate all the love and encouragement. And yeah, let's go make something with this. It's spring cleanup in our town, and I got this frame on the side of the road. I already told you where I got the fence. The previous owners to our house had an art studio, and there was a bunch of this picture frame backing up there, and so I have plenty of that, and I'm going to use that on the back of my frame, and this paper is going to sit right on top, and that's going to be our scene through a window. I'm just going to line up these papers and match up my flowers, and then I'll put that right over it, making sure it fits. I got these electric scissors on Amazon. They cut like a charm through cardboard. They're loud, I mean really loud, but hey, they're well worth it. I'm gonna use Aleene's Tacky Glue spray, and I'm gonna lightly spray the whole board and then let it dry a little bit before I apply my papers. You don't wanna spray too much, because if you do, you're gonna have bubbles. And I'm just gonna use my hands to burnish them. That lines up real good. And I'm just going to cut off the bottom. I could have cut it to fit, but I really didn't need to, so I just skipped that step. I'm going to put my frame on top. See how that looks? That looks real pretty. I'm happy with that. I'm going to trim off the edge and then glue that right onto my frame. I'm going to take my Daz air dry clay and I'm going to cast some of these roses. And I'm also going to cast some of these side pieces for the frame. And if you've never used air dry clay before, it's actually really easy. And I mean, all you have to do is put a little cornstarch in your mold and then press down your clay and then just use your hand or your thumb to just skim over the top to kind of flatten it out. And then once you get that done, all you got to do is flex your mold a little bit and let gravity do its work. All you got to do is pull back the mold and it comes right out. I say that as I'm struggling to get the end piece out, but it does come out real easy. You just have to help it sometimes. And then to adhere it, you're going to want to use some wood glue. I'm using Tight Bond wood glue, and you can either put the glue to the back of your mold or your cast, should I say, or you can just put it right on to whatever you're going to adhere it to, and then just wipe off the extra. All right, we're going to get our fence ready. I use my embossing gun to warm up the plastic a little bit. Just be careful because this fencing cracks a lot easier than the other. So warming it up is a good idea. So I'm going to have to cut this to fit my window frame. I used my heat knife to do this, and just make sure if you do it, you're in a well ventilated area. I mean, I had a fan going, but I wasn't able to do this outside. So yeah, just be careful. Next time, I'll have to wear a mask. I don't have any at home, but I'll have to get some. Okay, back to the project. I believe this is the color Ivory by Waverly, and I'm going to heavily distress this going in the same direction. It does look so much better if you keep your brush going in the same direction. And I had to kind of flip it over a little bit to get the sides, but other than that, this was really easy to distress. It's up to you and what kind of look you're trying to achieve. Okay, so I'm going to try and figure out how I want this fence because I want it to be raised. So what I decided is to go in with some tumbling tower blocks, and I also end up getting a few paint sticks. I'll just let you watch for now and see what I'm doing. I ended up gluing them in stacks of 3. And I believe I used 5 total. I'm using my mix of stain that's made out of burnt umber and water. And I'm going to go over these stir sticks. And these are going to be the sides. You'll see in a minute. These little cubes came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm staining 4 of those as well. Next, I'm going to distress these so they match the fence. I want to fit my little blocks right in there. Add some glue, and I'm going to hold them there. I'm going to push them in there. I'm going to hold them there. It's a little snug, but it works. And I'm going to do the same thing on all 4 sides. The top of the fence is a little bit different, but you'll see here in a minute. Just trying to cut that down so that way my little block fits in there. And this is where I take my paint stir sticks, and I'm going to glue that to the block. Just hold it there for a minute. Okay, this is where I do the top. This part's a little bit tricky because it's hard to get the block to adhere to the fence. I'm going to zoom in here in just a second. I'm going to go in with some hot glue, and I'm going to use quite a bit to fill in the dips to the fence or the reservoir, whatever you want to call it. Then I'm going to glue the block to the stir stick and then hold it there. If you can tell by the video, the stir sticks aren't completely straight. They bow out a little bit. And the same thing with this. I'm adding a lot of glue because of the way the fence is made. You got to fill that up and then set the block down in there. If you have a better way to do this, by all means, do it. This was a little bit complicated, but this is the only thing that I could think of, especially where I wanted the fence elevated to make this work. I'm going to go fast on this just so you see what I'm doing, but you don't have to just wait for me to slowly get it done. And I'm just going to get rid of those glue strings. I'm going to paint over this whole thing with the color Moss by Waverly, and I'm going to add some salt wash to this. And I did add a little bit of water as well because my Moss chalk paint is pretty old and it's thick, but I can't throw it away. I have to use it till it's gone. And I'm going to stipple this right onto my frame. I probably should have waited to put the backing on. That's why I'm using the cardboard to protect my picture. This cover's real nice. I'm a little obsessed with salt wash at the moment. I've been using it in everything. I just love the texture. I let my clay dry for a few hours, but I'm going to just paint on over it. If you do this the same day, you're less likely to have a lot of cracking in your clay. So I'm going to put on a coat of this and then I'm going to come back to it in the morning. Okay, so it's the next day. Everything sat overnight and had time to cure. And just seeing how that's going to look and just showing you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill that down in there. But first, we're going to go over it with some paint. We're going to paint the whole frame again. And we're going to use Farmhouse Linen by Paint Jacquer. All I needed is one good coat on this, and that was plenty. This is what takes the longest, painting in all the little grooves of the clay. You really got to take your time and get in all the little hard to reach places with a small brush. I let that dry for a few hours and I'm going to go over it with this metallic bronze paint. And I go over the whole thing with this, paying extra attention to my clay. And I'm going to get that in the nooks and crannies as much as I can. And I'm going to do this in increments. I'm going to do a section and then I'm going to wipe it back with a damp towel. See how pretty that is? It really brings out the detail in the clay. I really like how that looks. And it gives it that old world charm. And I'm going to speed this up because if I left this at the pace I was going, I wouldn't have anybody watch it. They'd be clicking off. So hopefully people will stay engaged, not just watching me paint, watching paint dry. And I spray on a little bit of water here and there just to help lift some of that paint. I'm getting in all the little grooves. I'm going to do more of a stippling motion than rubbing. And I'm going to go in with one of my IOD stencils. This is the crackle one. I'm going to use a little distressing in the color soot. And I'm just going to strategically place, little stamps all over this. And I'm going to follow it up with a script stamp. Once this is done, I'm going to adhere my fence onto my frame. I apologize now because you don't see me decorate it, but I'm going to explain what I did here in just a second. This is how it came out. I am so sorry, guys. I lost the footage. I believe I forgot to hit start, but here it is. Most of the flowers and greenery did come from the Dollar Tree, but several from Walmart. So I used a bunch of different mosses. I have this style reindeer moss, Spanish moss, this colored kind that's super pretty, and this fluffy kind I got at Goodwill. I love it. If you guys know where I can get more of this style, let me know. I think Michael's might have some. The wooden roses, I got those from Goodwill as well. And some Excelsior I put here and up here. And more of those mosses. The ranunculus came from Walmart. And so yeah, this is how it came out. The baby's breath I got from Temu. I have so much of that. And no craft foam was used. I just stuck them down in there. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. I hope it inspired you in some way. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Comment, I love to hear from you. Subscribe, I'd love for you to stick around and share it with your friends. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I really hope that you enjoyed this. And for my returning people, I love you. Until the next one, bye.